when the familiar London fog has not yet fully lifted from St. James's Park. A steady sound begins to echo through the cool morning air. It is measured and rhythmic, moving through the mist like a quiet pulse, the heartbeat of the city itself. Clop, clop, clop. The sound of polished boots striking the pavement announces the presence of the royal guards. Before us stands Buckingham Palace, the enduring symbol of British monarchy and sovereign authority. Unlike Versailles, which overwhelms the senses with gold and theatrical grandeur, Buckingham does not seek to dazzle. Its strength lies in restraint, in order, in the calm confidence of tradition that does not need to impress loudly. This is not a palace built for spectacle, but one built to endure. Look up at the royal standard flying above the central flagpole. That single banner carries a message understood across the nation: the monarch is at home. With that knowledge, the building transforms. It is no longer merely stone and symmetry. It becomes a living center of duty, continuity, and national identity. The black iron gates, traced with gilded details, stand firmly in place. They form more than a physical barrier. They create a psychological boundary between the everyday world and the realm of royal responsibility. Beyond these gates, life follows a different rhythm, slower, more deliberate, governed by ritual rather than impulse. The East Front we see today was redesigned in 1913 to serve as a dignified backdrop for the Victoria Memorial. Constructed from pale gray Portland stone, its surface feels calm and unyielding. This restraint is intentional. It allows the vivid scarlet of ceremonial uniforms to dominate the scene, transforming the forecourt into a carefully composed image of authority and order. At the center of the facade stands the iconic central balcony. It is here that royal weddings are celebrated, where historic waves are shared with the nation, and where moments of private joy become public memory. Modest in size, yet immense in meaning, the balcony represents continuity. Each appearance echoes those that came before, reminding the public that tradition is carried forward, not frozen in time. Buckingham Palace does not dominate through scale. It persuades through precision. Every window aligns with purpose. Every proportion follows an unspoken rule of dignity. There is nothing accidental here. The architecture itself communicates stability, quietly assuring that while the world outside may change rapidly, some structures remain steady. Now, remain still. The changing of the guard is about to begin. This is not theater designed for visitors. It is the formal transfer of responsibility for protecting the head of state. The ritual is public, but its meaning is serious and symbolic, reaffirming trust and duty through repetition. The old guard assembles in the forecourt, waiting for the new guard to arrive. Their presence is calm and exact. Attention is immediately drawn to the towering bearskin hats, designed to make soldiers appear taller and more imposing. They transform individuals into symbols, heavy and uncomfortable. These hats demand endurance. Here, appearance is not vanity, it is communication. The scarlet tunics worn by the guards are equally deliberate. Historically, red concealed blood stains and made formations appear stronger from a distance. Even color serves purpose. Even beauty functions as strategy. Nothing in this ceremony exists without reason. A sharp command cuts through the air, "Make way for the Queen's Guard." Instantly, motion becomes choreography. Rifles lift. Bodies turn. Boots strike the ground in perfect unison. Each movement is precise, practiced until it becomes instinct. These men are not merely ceremonial figures. They are trained soldiers, many of whom have served in real operations beyond the palace gates. Their stillness is not emptiness. It is control. It is discipline shaped by repetition and endurance. Crowds gather to watch. Cameras raised. Voices lowered. Yet what truly holds attention is not movement, but silence. In a world filled with constant noise, restraint becomes power. Behind the elegance of the ceremony lies hardship few visitors imagine. On summer days, the heat inside thick wool uniforms and bearskin hats can become overwhelming. On cold mornings, muscles stiffen while the body is expected to remain motionless. Soldiers have collapsed on duty. The rule is strict: if you faint, you fall forward, never bend the knee. Even vulnerability must submit to form. Beyond the gates exists another world entirely. Behind the palace walls are more than 700 rooms, connected by corridors and hidden passages designed for staff to move unseen. Buckingham is not only a residence, it is a system. Offices, service routes, and private facilities operate quietly behind the grandeur. Royal life appears distant and polished, but it is sustained by constant organization and discipline. The monarch, once the queen, now the king, may observe the crowd from behind curtained windows above. It is a life defined by visibility and distance at the same time. At the heart of London, yet separated from it by duty, Buckingham Palace is not just a home, it is a boundary between the personal and the national. As the ceremony concludes, the new guard receives the keys. The old guard steps away. The crowd begins to disperse. But the sentries remain, still, unmoving, resolute. What appears to be repetition is, in truth, renewal. Each day the ritual repeats. Responsibility is reaffirmed. Buckingham Palace has witnessed moments of crisis and celebration alike. Bombs fell nearby during the Second World War. Smoke once darkened the London sky. It has seen weddings that lifted national spirits, funerals that brought collective silence, and jubilees that marked the passing of eras. Outside its gates, time moves quickly. Inside, tradition holds its ground. The repetition of this ceremony is not empty. It is a declaration of stability, not the promise that nothing will change, but the assurance that change will not erase identity. In a modern world driven by speed and immediacy, Buckingham stands as a reminder that endurance has its own strength. As evening falls, warm golden lights glow behind the palace windows. The severity of daytime formality softens. Stone appears gentler. Buckingham reveals itself not only as a symbol of authority, but as an architecture of duty. In the end, Buckingham Palace does not seek admiration. It seeks trust, and the guards standing silently at its gates embody that purpose. Tradition performed, protected, and renewed, one step at a time.